Okay, this video is about how to eat kale without gagging. Why make a video about how to eat kale without gagging? Because when I first started eating kale, well, first off, I learned that kale is very potent. This is raw, how to eat raw kale. That's it, because if you cook it, it's real easy to eat. But kale is one of the most potent greens as far as calcium and other minerals. And it's in the form that your body can utilize, meaning if you get it in pills, your body doesn't utilize it as much. So you get a lot more minerals and calcium out of this. I like picking my own out of the garden and eating it. Now I used to gag when I tried to eat kale. I started eating it because I found out all the minerals and calcium and all the benefits, all the nutrients. But when I tried to eat it, I was gagging. And interestingly enough, one of our followers on YouTube said they don't eat kale because it makes them gag. So I thought, okay, so I wasn't the only one that gags when they eat kale. So I figured out a way to eat kale without gagging, and I thought maybe other people might like to know this. Okay, this is a fancy curly-leafed kale. And when you look at it, I don't know if there's enough light, but you see that backbone right there? It's really crunchy, makes you feel like a goat when you're eating. So here's what I do. I just open it up like that, and I just cut the side, and I take that backbone out. There it is. Set it aside. And these are small leaves, but even so, when you bunch them all up together in a salad, oops, the backbone goes there. And you got all these tough backbones still on it, makes you gag. So that's the first step. Of course, I washed it first, but I went out in the garden and picked it. Okay, so I'm going to take all these backbones out. No big deal. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I just cut all the backbones, I call them backbones, off of these leaves, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 backbones. And as you can imagine, if I had not cut those off, those would be in your salad. Look how thick those are. They feel thick. Look at that. Pretty thick stuff. Oh, and by the way...
Save them. I'm going to give them to the puppy.
All right. Well, and by the way, just 3 of these, well, because they were bigger in Panama, say half of these. Just half of these in the stores in Panama City would cost $3. And I just picked these twice as much out of my own garden. I can grow these year-round here in the Andes. But in Panama City, it would cost me $3 for 3 or 4 leaves. I don't remember how many leaves. But you can see that it hasn't really made a whole lot of salad. But remember, it's potent. Now, here's step 2. Step 2 is I bunch it up like this so that I can, because it's little, it's curly leaf, it's already kind of little after I take the backbone off. I'm not finished. I'm going to kind of dice it, kind of like a parsley, how you would dice parsley. Okay, and so I did that once, and I may repeat that. I don't mind it being as small as possible. Oops. All right, now you can do more than that. I'm going to take this with me. We're going to eat lunch out today, and I'm going to take this with me so that I can stay healthy when I eat out, so that I can make my wife happy and give her a break in the kitchen today because it's Saturday. She's been cooking all week and she cooks amazing lunches. I want to take her out today, and I'm going to still stay healthy so I keep myself happy and my wife happy.
You're doing good, Frank.
And so I'm going to put it in a bag and take it with me.
Okay. What is that? I think that's about 3/4 of a cup.
Okay, so I'm going to just put this in a nifty little sandwich baggie. And like I say, I could have done twice as much easily. And don't smoke it. You have to eat it. You have to eat it to get the benefits. Okay.
Well, if you are going to smoke it, make sure you dry it out.
I don't smoke. I don't recommend smoking. You know, and I just want to mention how the kind of attitude here that brings someone to this kind of a decision to do something like this is the first step is I have to decide I want to stay healthy. That's a choice. I want to stay healthy. I find out that kale's very potent in calcium, more potent than most other greens. And I try eating it and it makes me gag. So do I give up? No. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what I'm talking about the attitude. First you decide I'm going to stay healthy. Then you figure out, okay, well, how am I going to do this? And that's how I came up with this system. And so those are the kinds of things we go into in our book, Better Health, Better Life. You know, that we have chosen natural health over institutional health care and prescription drugs and laboratory created nutrients and that kind of thing. We made a conscious choice to stay natural and depend on creation, so that has to do with that too. Okay, and next I'll show you what I do when we get to the restaurant.
Hi,
so
Frank.
This is the last part of our saga, the non-choking kale.
Gagging. It was gagging.
Non-gagging.
Okay, so he's putting it all over his food. It even smells really kale out of the little sandwich bag. Okay, now what are you going to do?
But I'm eating out, and I'm still going to have my olive oil because that's just part of my nature.
Here's my dinner right here.
You want some?
No.
And that's sea salt because
Well, I will have some of that.
Bon appetit.
Okay, but aren't you going to put a garlic on there?
Non-gagging. It's so tiny. I don't gag.
How was your dinner, Frank? Oh, okay.
Couldn't even tell I was eating kale. Couldn't even tell.
You left a little couple pieces of kale.
Do not leave any. Do not leave any evidence in the restaurant. Stay healthy. Stay healthy with Frank and Angie overseas. Living frugal, living healthy. It is possible. And we did write a book, didn't we? Better Health, Better Life.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot more stuff in that. Check it out.
Ciao.
Thanks for watching.